each and every Wednesday at 7 p.m. at Studio 7 Cafe and Coffee Company, and we do it in front of a
audience. By definition, they're alive.
They are.
Yeah.
Notice I didn't say anything. I let you say it.
Right.
All right. Rated R for Recovery is a show all about recovering from any hurt, habit, or hang-up you might have, whether it's drugs, alcohol, sexual addiction, codependency, overeating, what else? Anger.
Somebody said bowling.
Somebody. All right. Well, if you're powerless over the bowling ball and your life's unmanageable, we'll talk about it. I'm an alcoholic that doesn't drink. I'm a drug addict that doesn't use. I'm a dead man that walks among the living. All this by no righteous deed of my own. And my name is Fletch.
Hey, Fletch. I'm just a girl who could never say no. My name is Joy. Welcome to the show.
Yes, welcome, everybody. We stream live at ratedrforrecovery.com. Past shows can be heard on the Facebook. Like us on the Facebook and pass us around. You can also hear us for a courtesy of Captain Brian at Captain Brian's Off the Hook Comedy Club at podcastcafelive.com. And YouTube, and what else? iTunes Network. We're on iTunes Network. Yeah, we're on iTunes Network. What we're doing tonight is something that's near and dear to my heart. We broadcast podcast, that is, all over the world every Wednesday night from Cape Coral, Florida, which is in southwestern Florida. And I belong and have been a member of Grace United Methodist Church for 5.5 years. And we're doing a segment tonight called The Women of Grace. And what this is... Did you? No? You sure? Okay. What this is that Grace Church has 4 campuses in Southwest Florida. Each church has some sort of recovery going on. Isn't that right, Kim?
Yes.
Yes. Talk right into your microphone. Okay. So now they have one of the campuses has Celebrate Recovery, which is a way of working the 12 steps with biblical comparisons. Another campus has the 12 steps for Christians. And the East Fort Myers campus has something. I don't know what they do, actually, to tell you the truth. Okay, so they're coming up with something.
All right.
Yeah. That is Pastor Sherry out there. So what we've done is Joy and I thought it might be a good idea to hear strictly from women tonight and what they struggle with or what they did struggle with and what happened to them and what they're like now. And in this case, it would be through however they would like to explain that. So right up here, let's have a nice round of applause for Kim and Sylvia.
Welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Kim, we're going to start with you. What were you like prior to coming to Grace Church?
Well, I grew up in a Christian home. Moved away from God probably when I went to college. I was abused by my boyfriend and then husband, and he got me hooked. Well, he started my drug addiction. It helped me get started. He talked me into my first 8-ball, and he, without me knowing what he was doing, he shot me up with heroin. So I was a little confused about what was going on, but I didn't actually get into my deep addiction until after we were divorced and my daughter, who was deathly sick, got put in the hospital.
Right. I'm going to flash back for a second because I not to sound anywhere disrespectful, but how does somebody shoot you up with heroin without you knowing it unless you're...
I came home. He was having a party. I was yelling at everybody to get out of my house. He told me I was ruining everyone's high, to sit down, and he already had it loaded. And I sat down, and he held my arm and put the needle in my arm.
Forcefully. He grabbed your arm.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yes.
My goodness. All right. And so where did it go from there? You said you really didn't get deep into the addiction until the situation with your daughter.
Right. I really didn't want to have anything to do with drugs or anything. I knew they were bad from when I was growing up, just hearing about it and stuff. And that was my way to cope. And my daughter, I had a deathly ill daughter, and she was on her deathbed, and that was how I coped. Somebody had it, offered it to me. I was like, sure, I'll try it. Seemed like the right thing to do at the time.
Were you able to? You said you had your daughter was she hospitalized during this time?
Yes.
And were you able to go and see her, or were you so far into your addiction that that's all that mattered?
I did go see her. I was staying at the Ronald McDonald House, and that's where I was getting high. And I would, on my in-between breaks, I would go up to her room and in the hospital and spend time with her. She was in a coma, so she didn't know if I was there or not. And this was the first time that she had been in the hospital that I wasn't there 24/7.
Right. And were you staying there by yourself? Were you away from your town?
No, we were actually in my town, but they knew me so well at the hospital from her being there pretty much her whole life that they let me stay there.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
And were you ever found out at the Ronald McDonald House?
Yes.
And how did that happen?
Well, they don't allow you to have food or anything, food in the rooms, and they come in and clean your room. And I guess I left a crack pipe in the drawer. Oops. And
yeah,
they saw it. And when I got back, they called the police, and I was actually in the room smoking crack when the police knocked on the door.
So were you arrested?
Yes.
Was that your only arrest?
No, that was my first arrest.
Oh.
Where did it take you from there?
To jail.
A lighter moment at Rated R for Recovery, ladies.
But obviously it didn't stop you.
No, I wasn't ready to stop.
What happened with your daughter?
A couple of years later, moving forward, she got sick again. She had surgery and went into a coma after surgery, and she died 30 days later.
Huh.
Were you sober then?
I was sober. I was 3 years sober.
Wow. Okay. So you did. So that initial time at the Ronald McDonald House, tending to your daughter as best you could with a crack pipe, she did recover from that particular time, and
yes,
you got to have some quality time with her.
Yes.
How did you get sober?
The courts really, when the first time I got arrested, my parents called me, told me I had to come home, so I came home, and they sat me down and told me that in the morning, which was like 8 hours later, I was leaving for a rehab in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh.
And there was nothing I could say or do about it.
Where were you? What state were you in?
I was in Northern Virginia, just south of D.C.
Was this sort of an intervention thing?
Well, that's what most people would call it now, but no, they just told me.
Oh.
You're going.
You're going.
You're going here in the morning.
Yeah. Okay. And how did you? What was your initial reaction to that?
I said, I can't. I don't have any of my stuff. I have to go get my stuff.
Yeah.
I needed to smoke some more before I left.
And did you?
Yes, I did.
So what did they say? You said, I can't leave. I got to get my stuff. Well, how long of a time period was it between then and your first 28-day program?
Like 5 hours, 8 hours.
Oh, so it was relatively quick.
I mean, I respected them enough to get back to the house in time.
Well, that's good. That's more than I could have done. So you went to Phoenix, so you go to this treatment center? Is that what it was? A 28-day program?
Yes.
What did you learn in that 28-day program? How did that help you?
I don't want to talk down on any treatment program. It was a very good program, but it didn't help me because I wasn't ready. I was not ready to get sober. I was not ready to stop using. I was forced, and that made it mean to me that when I left there, I was going to go right back out and use again. I had it in my mind from getting on the airplane.
Some of the 12-step programs talk about we suffer from three things: a mental obsession, physical allergy, and a spiritual malady. And they tell us once the spiritual part is overcome, we straighten up mentally and physically. The whole time in that 28-day program, were you just counting the days till you could leave and go smoke crack again?
Pretty much.
And did you?
Yes, I did. The night I got home, I was back out there.
Wow. And then what brought it to the point where I'm not doing this anymore and I don't know how to stop?
I got arrested a couple months later for shoplifting because that's how I got my drugs.
Yeah.
And I got caught, got arrested, went to jail. When I went to court, they sentenced me to an 18-month outpatient. And of course, they sentenced me to a lot of jail time too, but that eventually got suspended. And I went to the 18-month outpatient program with it in my mind that I was going to stay clean for while I was in there. I was going to do everything they wanted me to do, but I was going to use again. And halfway through, God took my desire away to use, and I haven't used since I went into there.
Were you working any kind of program? When you say God took it away, were you working on yourself at that time, or were you just going through the motions?
I was going through the motions.
But were you praying?
I was praying
Yeah.
because my daughter was still sick, and we were looking for doctors to perform surgery on her and all that. So yeah,
I believe that that's
praying.
a really big deal. I mean, you may be just going through the motions, but if you're saying the words and if you're actually trying to pray, I believe that things start moving.
Yeah.
You know,
your heart.
That's a very good
Yeah.
point. That's a very good point. Well,
Mhm.
Kim, thanks for taking the time out of your day to come and share it. One of the women of grace, Kim M.
Thank you.
Sylvia.
Yes.
We're gonna let me see. We'll have some words with you. And what brought you to what type of recovery are you from?
Well,
What?
I'm kind of like Joy. I never knew when to say no. I always said yes to everything. But I'm a product of relapse and AA. AA was my stepping stone to get me into the real recovery. And I come from being a prostitute, a stripper, and doing all kinds of drugs because obviously I didn't like myself or I wouldn't have been doing what I was doing. And so I was stripping one night in this club in Kentucky and I went into the bathroom and I heard this voice say to me, I was pregnant. I was like just a couple of months pregnant. And I heard a voice say to me, I'm giving you a child to show you have a reason to live. Because I had tried to kill myself so many times and I couldn't do it. And he said, I'm going to give you this child to show you have a purpose in life. And so I got up from there and I ran straight out the door. And the lady said when I ran by her, I was white as a sheet.
How many years ago was that?
I'm 57 years old now. I was 18.
Oh, and you
Yeah.
and you haven't touched drugs or alcohol since?
No, no, I didn't say that.
All right, I'm just asking.
I didn't say that. No, but all the time I still did drugs and alcohol because, like I said, I didn't even like myself.
Yeah.
right.
Even having my child, he only weighed 2 pounds when he was born, and he stayed in the NICU unit for 3 months. And they said he was going to die, and I said, no, I know he's not going to die because somebody told me he's not going to die. And I took him home from the hospital after 3 months, and my sister lived in Ohio where I was at the time. And his father was the pimp that turned me out when I was only 17.
Yeah.
And so he used to beat me for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And he would take coat hangers and plait them together. And he would whip me with them until the blood would come out of my back. If I didn't make enough money, he would take a hot curling iron and stick it up inside me.
Oh, dear.
And so I stayed there, and I had to be high. I was on heroin, I was on cocaine, and anything that I could get, I would drink and drug because I could not stand what was going on with me. And even after I had my son, they had gave me some sleeping pills when I came home, and I put him in the bed, and I put a note beside him on the bed. And I called my sugar daddy, and I told him, I said, just come by here in the morning early and pick me up. And he said, okay. So I took the whole bottle of sleeping pills, and I went to sleep, and I woke up like in about 30 minutes. I come to,
Mm-hmm.
and I got up and ate a bowl of Cheerios. And when I ate that bowl of Cheerios, I threw up, and then somebody was knocking on my door, and it was my sugar daddy. And he said, something woke me up and told me to get over here. And I know what it was. And I couldn't even kill myself properly.
Yeah.
So time just kept on, and I took care of my son. I was still a dancer, and he never ever got taken away from me, and that was an act of God. I know that, because he should have been taken away from me a long time ago. And I kept running in and out of AA, and it never seemed to help me. And because my parents all grew up in an alcoholic family, and everybody drank. I had one brother that was a lawyer. And my parents told me a long time before that if I couldn't be like him, I would never amount to anything.
Right.
And so you left home at 16 or
I
whatever?
left home at 13.
13.
I finished school, though. I still went to school. Even though I was working on the streets, I still went to school because I knew I had to finish school. Because
What made you leave home at 13?
Well, my parents were both older. My dad was 50 years old when they had me, and my mom was 35. So they were older, and they didn't even know how to handle me. And so they didn't know how to love me. They bought me. They bought me a 65 Mustang when I was 13 years old to try to keep me at home, because she thought that if she could buy me everything, I would stay home.
Right. And
But
all you wanted to do is be loved.
All I wanted was love.
Yeah.
And my dad, I'd see my dad go to work. He would work like a dog. And my mom was the hand, you know. And she would have my brother that was a lawyer. If I ran away, he would come to get me. And then he would put me on the bed. He'd make me take my clothes off. And he would take a belt out. And he would whip me till I bled down my back. And my parents, I'll never forget, they stood in the door with their arms crossed like that, and they would watch him. I would look over my back to try to get them to help me, and they wouldn't. And my mother was deaf, so I felt obligated to stay with her because she couldn't hear, and I had to hear for her, and I would have to, you know, do sign language and stuff for her, but I just couldn't take any more. And that's when I ran away, and I did whatever I could.
How did you get away from that controlling person? I'll call him a person that was turning you out on the street. How'd you get away from him?
Well, it was in Atlanta, and he had my son at that time. And I called the Atlanta Police Department, and I told them what was going on. And they surrounded this whole area in Atlanta. And they had the SWAT team up in the trees and everything. And they went with me inside the house and took me in there. And he was in there with like 5 women were in there. And he told each one of them he told them all to come out so I could come in and get all my stuff. And my son was in the arms of some other woman. And so I reached over there and I smacked her and knocked her down and caught my son before he hit the ground. And so I got him, and they took us out of there in squad cars. And they took him to jail. And I was never so glad to get away from somebody in my life.
When did you get sober?
When I really got sober?
Yes.
Right.
No, not just halfway. Yeah, when you really got sober.
Grace of God. It was definitely the grace of God. But it's been, this January will be 4 years.
Congratulations.
January the 18th.
You said you had tried AA or whatever AA you might have tried, and it really didn't work for you. Did you ever really work all 12 steps with a sponsor, though, during that?
Not really, because
Okay.
I wasn't ready.
Okay. We got to make sure, and I got to really stress this, because we want to spread a message of hope. And people get sober through AA every day.
Yes.
They get sober through NA every day, CA, through Grace Church, through Celebrate Recovery, through divine intervention.
Yes.
But at no point do we ever want to say, if I haven't gone through the whole process and continue to work the process I'm set out to do, that it doesn't work because it could shut somebody off.
Right.
That's from go ahead.
Well, we're just here to hear each person's experience, and however, you find help, that's what we're here to share, that someone may hear a message and say, that's for me.
Right.
But I did say AA was my stepping stone.
Absolutely.
To get where I got.
Absolutely. And I didn't mean to be condescending to you in any way. And the whole thing is, and if you really look at this, you're going to find that no matter what it is, it comes down to one thing. And that's a power greater than me. Mm-hmm. And that's what it's all about. And Grace Church is a great example of strong women in recovery that practice principles that keep them sober and help others. So you've been. What is your life like today? And then we're going to take a break.
It's wonderful. I look at things differently today because the Lord is my higher power, Jesus Christ, and I pray every day, and I always ask Him what to do every day. And I can handle the day, like the challenges are sometimes tough. They get really challenging. But all I have to do is know that I have Him to lean on. And my son stuck with me all through everything.
How old is he now?
He's now 39, and he's sitting in the audience.
All right.
Yeah. And statistics say that a single mom that went through what I went through and had a son, 9 times out of 10, he would be in prison or dead.
Right. Or you would be too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so thank you very much, Sylvia. Give Sylvia a nice round of applause.
Thank you.
Rosa, I didn't mean to have you come up here. We're going to come back to you right after break. We've got more. You're listening to Rated R for Recovery and RatedRforRecovery.com. Our special feature tonight is the Women of Grace, and we'll be right back after this.
That's going to leave a mark. But not if you bring your vehicle to D-Hab Your Automotive Rehab, your one-stop shop for all auto body work and paint. No job too big or small. With over 25 years experience, D-Hab can make your vehicle look like the accident never happened. D-Hab Your Automotive Rehab is located at 2534 Highland Street, 1 block off Edison Avenue in Fort Myers. So if you have a scratch, ding, dent, or bent, call D-Hab Your Automotive Rehab at 332-1813.
Have you been considering a kitchen renovation or bathroom remodeling? There's no one better to call than the professionals at Honey's Construction. Value, beauty, and functionality. Get the right design for your kitchen or bathroom and add significant value to your home. Call Honey's Construction today at 229-4934 for a free in-home consultation. Honey's Construction's purpose and mission is to fulfill dreams and to be grateful for the many blessings we enjoy each and every day. 229-4934. Get the taste of home while eating out. Gwendolyn's Cafe and Catering. Open daily for breakfast and lunch and located at 2400 First Street in downtown Fort Myers. Gwendolyn's Cafe and Catering specializes in homemade soups, salads, sandwiches, and desserts. And Gwendolyn's has been rated 5 stars by Urban Spoon and Yelp. Get the taste of home while dining out. Or let us bring the taste of home to your home with our free delivery. Gwendolyn's Cafe and Catering, 2400 First Street, downtown Fort Myers.
Every Friday night at 6:45 p.m., experience Celebrate Recovery at Grace Church at 13 Southeast 21st Place in Cape Coral. The purpose of Celebrate Recovery is to encourage fellowship and to celebrate God's healing power in our lives as we work our way along the road to recovery. By working through the 12 steps and 8 principles of Celebrate Recovery, we grow spiritually and we are freed from our hurts, habits, and hang-ups. Celebrate Recovery every Friday night at 6:45 p.m. at Grace Church, 13 Southeast 21st Place in Cape Coral.
Have you been charged with a crime? You could face serious penalties for conviction, and it is vitally important that you have skilled legal assistance on your side during this time. Call Brian L. Edwards, Esquire, Attorney at Law today. 888-512-6254. Results matter. With a track record of success, our methods are tried and true. Mistakes happen, but we can help. Brian L. Edwards, Esquire, attorney at law. Visit FortMyersCriminalLawFirm.com or call 888-512-6254.
Bust a gut laughing at Off the Hook Comedy Club inside Captain Brian's Seafood and Raw Bar. For tickets, call 239-389-6900. That's 389-6900. Or visit offthehookcomedy.com. Off the Hook Comedy Club inside Captain Brian's Seafood and Raw Bar. Enjoy the best raw bar in Southwest Florida and a menu of delicious entrees like juicy prime rib and the best seafood, period. Located at 599 South Collier Boulevard, Suite 218 on Marco Island, across from the Hilton Hotel. Visit offthehookcomedy.com.
J&J Appliance Repair, Inc. is a Christ-centered company of 3 years. We operate our company using God's golden rule. Treat others as you want to be treated. That is honestly, dependably, and as quickly as possible at a fair price. That's just what we do. With 30-plus years experience, we keep updated through continuing education. We repair all makes and models, as well as install dishwashers and hot water tanks. There's vent cleaning, which includes the dryer. We're family-owned and operated, insured, licensed, and serviced Lee County. Call 239-440-4452.
When it comes to your vehicle, 2 words are all that really matters: reliable and honest. And that is AJ Auto Repair. Located at 15580 McGregor Boulevard in Fort Myers, AJ Auto Repair has been servicing Lee County for over 20 years. Stop in anytime for a free estimate, like us on Facebook, or call us at 432-2882. That's 432-2882. Remember, for fast, friendly, reliable, honest service, it's AJ Auto Repair. AJ Auto Repair, your one-stop auto repair headquarters. Honest and reliable. Feeling alone? Feeling lost? Feeling helpless? We're here to help.
I caught you knocking at my cellar door. I love you, baby, can I have some more? Ooh, the damage done. I hit the city and I lost my band. I watched the needle take another man. Gone, gone, the damage done. I sing the song because I love the man. I know that some of you don't understand. Milk blood to keep from running out. I've seen the needle and the damage done. A little part of it in everyone, but every junkie's like a setting sun.
You can hear us on podcastcafelive.com. Thanks to Captain Brian at Captain Brian's Off the Hook Comedy Club, iTunes Network, YouTube, Facebook. Like us on the Facebook and pass us around. Right, Joy?
Yep, sounds good to me.
Okay. Rated R for Recovery talks about everything recovery related. Tonight's feature is the Women of Grace. And for those of you listening in Guam, we're talking about Grace United Methodist Church, which is located in Southwest Florida and is very recovery oriented. One of the things Grace Church put into effect in what year was Celebrate Recovery, Sherry?
2001.
2001, and you were part of that, correct?
Yes, I was.
Tell us a little bit about how that came to be.
I had just gotten sober in February of 2000, and by the grace of God, and I started with Grace Church, and I immediately got involved with the team, committed myself to the program, and we got the kickoff January of 2001.
And what is Celebrate Recovery?
Celebrate Recovery is a recovery program based on the 12-step program as well as the biblical principles from the Beatitudes. And anyone with a hurt, a habit, or hang-up, which includes all of us.
Amen.
I qualify for every single group that they have.
Okay, and it started at a place called Saddleback Church in California.
Yes, it did.
And by 2008, I believe Grace Church Celebrate Recovery was the second largest in the United States.
Yes.
It was. Okay. All right, and up here on the panel as well, and next to Sherry is Janet. Hi, Janet. Thanks for joining us.
Hello.
Janet, what brought you to Celebrate Recovery?
I started going to Celebrate Recovery about 4 years ago. A friend brought me, and I didn't get it right at first, but I continued to go and listen to what they had to say, and I liked it, and I wanted what they had. It just took me a little longer to get it.
Would you share a little bit about what your hurt, your habit, or hang-up was?
Okay. I've been in an abusive marriage for 12 years, and then I had gotten sick with an illness that causes a lot of pain, and they put me right on opiates, narcotic painkillers, and that was when my addiction started. I was 31 years old.
Okay, so you go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's in the news right now too. People in abusive relationships and why do they stay and those kind of things. But the opiates being a separate topic, it's still a hurt, habit, or hang up. And
right.
like Sherry said, she qualified for a lot of those groups, and I think many of us do have more than one hurt, habit, or hang up going on at one time.
So to flash forward to today, you're very involved with Celebrate Recovery?
I am, and I'm leading the women's abuse group on Friday nights, and on Monday nights at First United Methodist Church, I am leading the women's chemical dependency.
Very nice.
Wow.
And so you are how many years off of pain pills? Or how long, I should say?
2 years and 6 months.
Wow, congratulations. How many years out of the abusive relationship?
8 years.
Good for you. Good for you. All right, and sitting next to Janet, thank you very much. Janet's also going to be our musical guest tonight. She's going to sing a couple songs for us as we get closer to the 8 o'clock hour. And Rosa is here next. Good evening, Rosa.
Hi.
How are you?
Wonderful.
What brought you to Celebrate Recovery?
I had no relationship. I'm actually a workaholic, and I'm a chef, so I worked 24/7. And what I would do is when, instead of having relationships, I just worked all the time. And when things would go on that I didn't like, I run to my addiction, which was work.
Uh-huh.
And so my husband got ill 8 years ago and had cancer from Agent Orange, Vietnam. And when he got sick, I didn't know how to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
I felt really bad because,
you just weren't equipped.
Yeah, I wasn't equipped whatsoever to handle it, but we had no relationship anyway. We were married 30 years, and sometimes we'd go 3 or 4 weeks and not speak 5 words to each other because I worked all the time.
Yeah.
What has Celebrate Recovery done for you?
Well, I went through the 12-step program first with my sponsor one-on-one. And then because of just being still not having any relationships, not even girlfriends, when you get ready to go to the mall and you can't find a girlfriend to go to the mall with, something's wrong. And so I actually, through my sponsor, prompted me to take the 12 steps at Grace through Celebrate Recovery to actually build relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And now I can honestly say that I have wonderful, wonderful relationships because all of us girls still keep in touch. I'm very active in several of the churches. We help with Saturday night at Living Word. We help with Monday night at Grace United down in Coronado. And then I've led several groups at Grace Church itself.
Do you find, though, that that's also sort of a way to hide? I mean, it sounds like you're very busy doing this now.
I actually work part-time, So it's really not because I've kind of went from one to the other. I don't do that all at one time. I'm talking about over the period of the last 2 years.
Okay, good.
I've went. So really, I try not to be real overly, but I have stayed away from all the cooking part. I've stayed away from the kitchen because when I first went there and they said, "Oh, you're a chef," so immediately they thought that I would get involved with that. They say, "Oh, well, you could help us with Solid Rock on Friday night. You could do this," and I've actually purposely stayed away from that because I still, just because, I know about my addiction and I know that that's what I do, I would rather work and stay busy instead of having relationships. That doesn't mean it's gone. It just means that I know about it, so I'm aware of it, so I'm more careful. So that's, and now I'm happier than I've ever been in my life. I actually feel like I'm living my life instead of, I'm a human being, not a human doing.
Very nice, very nice. You're listening to Rated R for Recovery and RatedRforRecovery.com. Our guests this week are the Women of Grace. Sherry, getting back to you, you started Celebrate Recovery in 2001. Something happened.
Oh, yes.
Give us the Reader's Digest version.
Reader's Digest version. I went back to school to become a substance abuse counselor. Got a wonderful job at a local treatment center. Loved my job. I was passionate about helping people. And I overcommitted in service work. There's no such thing as a reasonable act of service with me. I can relate with Rosa.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I jump in and I do I do it all. I just overcommit, and then I burn out and get a resentment, and then I'm toast.
Yeah. So
what had happened was I was so busy helping everyone else. All it took was one devastating event in my life. That's all it took because I wasn't working the program. I had a sponsor, but I wasn't using her the right way. I was working the steps half-heartedly. And so my little boy, Cat, died unexpectedly. I found him after I came home from a retreat. And, oh, boy, that was the hardest pain.
Your son?
My cat. He is my son.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have children.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't have children, but he's 9. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That can be. Yeah. Losing a pet is a member of the family. I get that. Yeah. I just misunderstood. I apologize.
Yeah. Back in the 90s, I used to put him in my basket on my bike and ride him to the drug dealer's house. Come on, let's go to Uncle Jesus's.
Nice.
Little Flaccos and get some crack. Okay.
Anyway, he passed away, and the pain was terrible, and I didn't reach out. I didn't call anyone, and no one knew what I was going through. So basically, I relapsed in my mind long before I physically picked up. That was in February of 2006. And I was...
where did that relapse take you?
Okay, I graduated with my second degree in psychology from Barry University. And a week later, I was in full-blown crack addiction. And I still lived a double life. My disease, the enemy, convinced me that I could do this.
And that nobody knew.
No one knew. And since I still had passion to help people, I could help them even though I couldn't help myself. So,
did you commit any crimes during that time?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
See, I laughed only because we can laugh about this now. I don't mean to make light of it. What happened?
Let's see. Well, I lost my job at the addiction center.
Wait a minute. I didn't think anybody knew. How'd you lose your job?
Well, it kind of came crashing down. I even attempted to get my master's degree in mental health counseling. I did my residency in Dallas, Texas, and then shortly after I just dropped out because it was just hard work living a double life.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I was still running a halfway house, still counseling, and just, oh my gosh, it was horrible.
So why did they fire you?
They suspected something was going on, and then I started getting a little behind in paperwork. Yeah,
sure. I get that.
Yeah, so I had the best job with 401k benefits, you name it, and I actually cashed in my 401k and tithed 10% to the church. What crackhead does that?
The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
The insane ones.
It's like I had a big God stamp saying, okay, he's going to approve of this, he'll okay me living this double life. It was insane. So finally, I was in a pit of despair, and I planned my suicide. And I was going to pick up my mom and ask her to use her bathroom and go in her bedroom and get her gun and take her out and then go home and put an end to my life. And God had other plans because my car wouldn't start. And it come to find out it was only an $8 part that it needed. So anyway,
Amen.
All that went out the window, but I was still in a pit of despair. And so I committed some crimes, 2 counts of robbery with a weapon. I sprayed a lady with mace, which led to a Good Samaritan getting in a car chase, chasing me down. I got away, but I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. I'm like, what have I just done? I realized right then my bottom was not a place. It was my state of mind.
Yes.
And I said, set me free, Lord. I screamed it out. There's a song by Casting Crowns.
Right.
And I screamed it out driving down the road. And God used my brother as a vessel to bring the police to me. And it saved my life.
What was the result of that arrest?
I went to prison.
For how long?
I had a 7.5-year sentence, and I did 5 years and 8 months.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
And it saved my life. It was fantastic. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Go God.
Amen. So now you're back with the church?
Oh, yes. That was difficult because the enemy, of course, didn't want me there. So my shame and guilt and everything else. It took a lot of courage to step back into that door of AA, the church, Celebrate Recovery. But when I did, I was welcomed back with open arms. It was as if I never left.
We're so glad you did.
It was so fantastic. And that's what recovery is about. We're always here, They're always there waiting for you to come back.
Right.
So.
Give Sherry, Janet, and Rosa a nice round of applause.
Thank you, ladies.
We are going to take one more quick break right here, and when we come back, we're going to do our first of many segments with Tommy going to give us some wellness tips, and then we're going to hear Janet sing a song. You're listening to Rated R for Recovery.
We are here to help.
Whiskey bottle, brand new car, over 3 years my way. There's too much coke and too much smoke. Look what's going on inside.
Welcome back to Rated R for Recovery and RatedRforRecovery.com. We're doing a feature tonight on the Women of Grace, and what I mean by that, it's the Women of Grace Church, which is a local church in this area that celebrates recovery. We're going to start a new segment. Well, actually, not a new segment, Joy. This is a segment we started a while back.
Yes.
And it kind of went a little away a bit.
Okay.
And now it's coming back again. And please welcome our new wellness coach, Tommy, to the show.
Hey, Tommy.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Tommy, do you know what it's like to come into recovery weighing about 138 pounds? Of course, I'm talking about me, with no teeth and being very well malnourished. Do you know what that's like?
I know what it's like to be malnourished. I think I was about 103 pounds.
And what do we do when we're coming back from either a relapse or just coming into recovery? We're usually extremely dehydrated and extremely vitamin deficiency. What do we do to get back on track?
Well, for me, I know I had to rest quite a bit,
Yeah,
but I
is
think
really
a lot of
important.
it is mentally. You need to nourish yourself. I think to pray and take some time to meditate is very important so you can center yourself. And then obviously you're going to want to look into going to see a doctor. Make sure you're physically okay. And then maybe possibly take some kind of vitamins. I know vitamin C is really helpful with immune deficiency, and I take it every day so that I don't get sick. And just things like that. Maybe taking a walk 3 times a week in the morning, something like that. Get your body moving. Start to feel good about yourself again. You're worth it.
What is the importance of water intake into the human body?
Well, let's see. Your body cannot basically metabolize a lot of the foods like carbohydrates and things like that without water. Your body is made up of water, so you really need to stay hydrated. When you don't stay hydrated, you are so fatigued and you can actually cause your body organs to shut down. I mean, they have to be hydrated at all times, so it's always good to drink water. I know that a lot of us girls, when we're coming into recovery, we drink a ton of caffeine.
Yeah.
That's like all we drink is Monster and 5-Hour Energy. And make sure that you kind of space it out and bring a few water bottles in your bag because it's always good. You'll feel better the next day, I promise.
Is water the only thing that rehydrates you?
You know what? I drink Gatorade sometimes because of the electrolytes, and I'm a big fan of green tea because of the antioxidants, but I really believe that water is the best choice.
Ladies and gentlemen, the beginning of an ongoing relationship on Rated R for Recovery. Let's give a nice round of applause for Tommy.
Thanks a lot, guys.
She'll be here each and every week. And we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have one of the women from Grace sing for two of the women from Grace, one of them playing guitar, the other one singing for us. You're listening to Rated R for Recovery at ratedrforrecovery.com.
Feeling lost? Feeling helpless? That's going to leave a mark. But not if you bring your vehicle to D-Hab Your Automotive Rehab, your one-stop shop for all auto body work and paint. No job too big or small. With over 25 years experience, D-Hab can make your vehicle look like the accident never happened. D-Hab Your Automotive Rehab is located at 2534 Highland Street, 1 block off Edison Avenue in Fort Myers. So if you have a scratch, ding, dent, or bent, call D-Hab Your Automotive Rehab at 332-1813.
Have you been considering a kitchen renovation or bathroom remodeling? There's no one better to call than the professionals at Honey's Construction. Value, beauty, and functionality. Get the right design for your kitchen or bathroom and add significant value to your home. Call Honey's Construction today at 229-4934 for a free in-home consultation. Honey's Construction's purpose and mission is to fulfill dreams and to be grateful for the many blessings we enjoy each and every day. 229-4934. Get the taste of home while eating out. Gwendolyn's Cafe and Catering. Open daily for breakfast and lunch and located at 2400 First Street in downtown Fort Myers. Gwendolyn's Cafe and Catering specializes in homemade soups, salads, sandwiches, and desserts. And Gwendolyn's has been rated 5 stars by Urban Spoon and Yelp. Get the taste of home while dining out. Or let us bring the taste of home to your home with our free delivery. Gwendolyn's Cafe and Catering, 2400 First Street, downtown Fort Myers.
Every Friday night at 6:45 p.m., experience Celebrate Recovery at Grace Church at 13 Southeast 21st Place in Cape Coral. The purpose of Celebrate Recovery is to encourage fellowship and to celebrate God's healing power in our lives as we work our way along the road to recovery. By working through the 12 steps and 8 principles of Celebrate Recovery, we grow spiritually and we are freed from our hurts, habits, and hangups. Celebrate Recovery every Friday night at 6:45 p.m. at Grace Church, 13 Southeast 21st Place in Cape Coral.
Have you been charged with a crime? You could face serious penalties for conviction, and it is vitally important that you have skilled legal assistance on your side during this time. Call Brian L. Edwards, Esquire, Attorney at Law today. 888-512-6254. Results matter. With a track record of success, our methods are tried and true. Mistakes happen, but we can help. Brian L. Edwards, Esquire, Attorney at Law. Visit FortMyersCriminalLawFirm.com or call 888-512-6254. Bust a gut laughing at Off the Hook Comedy Club inside Captain Brian's Seafood and Raw Bar. For tickets, call 239-389-6900. That's 389-6900. Or visit OffTheHookComedy.com. Off the Hook Comedy Club inside Captain Brian's Seafood and Raw Bar. Enjoy the best raw bar in Southwest Florida and a menu of delicious entrees like juicy prime rib and the best seafood, period. Located at 599 South Collier Boulevard, Suite 218 on Marco Island, across from the Hilton Hotel. Visit OffTheHookComedy.com.
J&J Appliance Repair, Inc. is a Christ-centered company of 3 years. We operate our company using God's golden rule. Treat others as you want to be treated. That is honestly, dependably, and as quickly as possible at a fair price. That's just what we do. With 30-plus years experience, we keep updated through continuing education. We repair all makes and models, as well as install dishwashers and hot water tanks. There's vent cleaning, which includes the dryer. We're family-owned and operated, insured, licensed, and service Lee County. Call 239-440-4452.
When it comes to your vehicle, 2 words are all that really matters. Reliable and honest. And that is AJ Auto Repair. Located at 15580 McGregor Boulevard in Fort Myers, AJ Auto Repair has been servicing Lee County for over 20 years. Stop in anytime for a free estimate, like us on Facebook, or call us at 432-2882. That's 432-2882. Remember, for fast, friendly, reliable, honest service, it's AJ Auto Repair. AJ Auto Repair, your one-stop auto repair headquarters. Honest and reliable. Feeling alone? Feeling lost? Feeling helpless? We're here to help.
Whiskey bottles and brand new cars. Oak tree, you're in my way. There's too much coke and too much smoke.
We'll come back to Rated R for Recovery and RatedRforRecovery.com. First of all, before we go any further, let's give Studio 7 Cafe a nice round of applause for hosting
Thanks,
our
Al.
show.
Thanks, Al. Great job.
Al is been thrown into a pit that he is doing a great job tonight. So Al is back there.
He works so great under pressure.
Yes. Check out Studio 7 Cafe and Coffee Company on the Facebook. Like it and pass it around. We've come to the portion in our show right now which we like to call the music segment. Why, Joy?
Because it's when we have the music.
It's because when we have music. Over here. Holly. Anything that's
Now you wake up.
Yeah. Say the sacred word. Holly, you are a member of Celebrate Recovery Praise Band.
Yes, at the Cape Coral First United Methodist Church.
And they do a Celebrate Recovery on
Monday nights.
Okay, what time does it start?
The dinner starts at 6 and the large group starts at 7.
Okay, and what do you do?
I kind of help do the music.
What you're about to do now.
That's right. I'm accompanying Janet.
Okay, and Janet said a few words for us up here on the panel with her involvement with Grace Church and Celebrate Recovery. Janet, you're going to do 2 songs? Is that correct?
Yes. We're going to do Road to Recovery and Oceans.
Okay,
Nice.
And then have at it, young lady.
Okay.
I'm on the road to recovery. I'm on the road to recovery, step by step, day by day. I'm on the road to recovery, trusting God along the way, trusting God all the way. I got a friend I can talk to, I'm not alone anymore. I've got faith, I can walk to and a future worth living for. I'm on the road to recovery, step by step, day by day. I'm on the road to recovery, trusting God all along the way, trusting God all along the way. There are tears on my pillow that won't dry on their own. Beyond my years, I've known sorrow, but today I don't walk alone. I'm on the road to recovery, step by step, day by day. I'm on the road to recovery, trusting God
tears on my pillow that won't dry on their own. All my years I've known sorrow, but today no longer. I'm on the road to recovery, step by step, day by day. I'm on the road to recovery, trusting God all along the way, trusting God all along the way.
Very nice. Very nice. Janet, you have another song, and Holly, what are you doing next?
This song is called Oceans.
Okay. And do you want to preview it, or just let the music do the talking?
We'll let the music do the talking. I chose this song because of the words. It's a very beautiful song. Upon the waters, the great unknown, where feet may fail, and there I find you in the mystery, in oceans deep, my faith will stand. I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours. You are mine. Your grace abounds in deepest waters. Your sovereign hand will be my guide. Where feet may fail and fear surrounds me, you never failed, and you won't start now. And I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise,
Very nice. Very nice.
Amen.
The women of grace, ladies and gentlemen. Holly
Thank
and
you
Janet.
so much. Thank you so much, ladies.
That was wonderful. In fact, Joy and I were just speaking that we need to do this again, and we're going to have another episode of the Women of Grace.
Yeah, because there's so much more to say. I feel like we just barely scratched the surface.
Yeah, we overloaded it, so yeah, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, join us next week as our guests will be Mike, Lenny, and Maria, the Adventist Community Services. They're going to be here sharing what they do in the community, a little bit of their personal experience and what they do as a group, along with music. So join us again each and every